Greetings, music makers. I'm Dr. Cayari, and in this Music Under a Minute video, I'm going to help you learn how to play high C on the recorder. We're going to learn about eighth notes, and we'll play a song called Cobbler Cobbler, which is available in the Do It Recorder book on page 9. There's a link to buy that book in the description box below. The Music Under a Minute series gives you ideas on how you can create simple projects that last less than 60 seconds. So if you're new to the Music Under a Minute series and you're wondering how you can collaborate with me, click on the link in the description box below. If you're ready to musically check in and say, "See, I can do it too," grab your recorder and do your best to play along. So without further ado, let's get ready to learn. In the last video, we learned about 3 pitches, B, A, and G. Today's new note is C. You play it by covering up the holes in your middle finger and your thumb on the left hand. It sounds like this. Try playing it with me. Let's try some echoing. Now let's try some echoes using A, B, and C. So far I've only used 2 lines to help you learn about pitch. However, in music we usually use 5 lines, which is called a staff. For recorder, we put a clef on the staff to help us know which notes are which. This is the treble clef. The treble clef has another name. It's called the G clef. Why, do you ask? Back in the day, they used to write a pretty G on the staff, and that would help you know where the pitch G was. Eventually, they made the G more elegant, and you'll notice the clef centers around the second line from the bottom. That's our G line. So as you see here, the G line is our second line, and here are all the other notes that we've learned so far. Let's turn these notes around. Do you notice anything? If you go up from G, you see A, B, C. That's how the musical pitch alphabet works. When you go up in the staff from line to space and line to space, you go forward in the alphabet. The opposite is also true. When you go down the staff, you go backwards in the alphabet. The pitches keep going around and around from A to G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There's no H. So here we have Cobbler Cobbler, a Jamaican street song that uses all 4 of our notes. We can see we have quarter notes, which have a head and a stem. We see that there are also notes that are beamed together. Those are called eighth notes. A quarter note gets 1 beat, and an eighth note gets half a beat. In this song, since all of the eighth notes are beamed together, a quarter note equals 1 beat, and 2 eighth notes equal 1 beat. So let's start counting and clapping this. For our quarter notes, we'll slide our hand and say quarter, and for our eighth notes, we'll say eighth, eighth. Let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, go. Eighth, 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 quarter. 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 Did you notice a pattern? We repeated the same thing 4 times. Music is full of patterns like that. So when you take a little time to look for patterns, you can save time on practicing. Since we know that this song is based on a single rhythm, eighth, 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 quarter, let's see if there are any patterns in the pitches. Let's say the pitches in time. 1, 2, ready, go. C, C, A, A, C, C, A, C, C, A, A, C, C, A, C, C, A, A, C, C, G, A, C, B, B, A, C, C. Did you notice any patterns? Let's look at the first 2 measures of the 2 groups of notes. Are the next 2 same, similar, or different? They're the same. What about the next 2? They're very similar. The last note is a G instead of an A. Now let's look at the last 2. They're very different. So when you're practicing, use the patterns to maximize your time. Before you play through the song, you'll notice that there's commas above the staff. Those are breath marks, so you know when to breathe if you need it. And also, you'll notice at the end there are 2 dots followed by 2 lines. That's what's called a repeat sign. So after you get there, go all the way back to the beginning. I'm going to play it slowly so that you can hear how it sounds. Feel free to play along. 1, 2, ready, go. Then you repeat it. What I suggest is that you pause the video right now and do some practicing. Once you feel comfortable, you can play along with my clones. Alright, well, I assume that you paused the video and practiced it 100 times, right? Alright, let's get ready and play it a little bit faster. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Cobbler, cobbler, fix my shoe. Get it done by 2:30. 2:30, I'm at your door. Get it done by 4:30. Cobbler, cobbler, fix my shoe. Get it done by 2:30. 2:30, I'm at your door. Get it done by 4:30. Were you able to keep up? If you were, go ahead and fist bump that like button so that I know how many people were able to learn with us. If you need some practice with this song, use the scroller at the bottom of the screen and find the timestamp marked practice so that you can play along until you get comfortable. And if you're ready to put yourself into that video and create a musical check-in with my clones, click on the collaborate link in the description box below. If you're not sure how to collaborate using the 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐀𝐑𝐍 app, you can find a tutorial on how to do that there as well. After you're done recording, don't forget to come back and share your video link so that everyone else can see what you're doing. If you're interested in adding the next note, high D, click on the Learn video up there. If you want to explore more music under a minute projects, click on the playlist down there. And if you're new here and you'd like to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the resources I create, click on my face down below. And until next time, keep on making music.